Hey guys, as promised, this is the second video of the day, and I thought I'd do a quick rundown of the latest additions to my shirt. Get your teeth back in, Stuart. Age is getting to me, not just the grey hairs, but there you go. Anyway, moving on from that, share a bit there. As you can see, these aren't the additions in my stash. This is just past additions I've had in my stash. But I have got a selection of new ones, which I'll just run through with you. And as you can see, I'm just in the midst of watching Big Jet TV with Jerry at Heathrow at the moment in the background. But I've put him on mute for the minute whilst I'll do this video. So what we'll start off with is the latest additions I've got to my armour stash. This first one is an old classic. In fact, it was the first release of a kit that's just been reissued. Well, it was reissued by Tamiya around about 3 to 4 years ago. It's the Sturmpanzer IV Brummbach SDKFZ 166, which is based on the chassis of a Panzer IV. And as you can see, it's still got the original Rico label on it. Now, admittedly, the actual decals in this kit are shot. But the guy who got me this has given me a little bit of aftermarket in it, added it in it, so that was very generous when I got this for about 17 quid on eBay. So I couldn't resist it. The only thing I've got to do is get some aftermarket for all tracks or Spade Ace tracks for this, because obviously I'm not going to use these lousy blooming plastic vinyl ones because they're just crap, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'll get that, and I'll get there to me as aftermarket Zimmerit for it as well, as I'm going to get around to building. It's at yeah, snapped up a bargain there, mate, I tell you. Anyway, the next one is one that's I think this one's just been reissued from Italeri. It's a utility vehicle, track utility vehicle, which was used in the German army during the Second World War. It is, of course, the Steyr RSO-01, and this one comes with figures and other accessories such as the rifles and ammunition packs, etc., which could actually produce this nice little diorama or something similar to it, so I might well do it. You have got the option of, I think, around about 4 or 5 different decal schemes in different theatres of the war that the Wehrmacht army were using, and the Panzer divisions. So yeah, it remains to be seen which one I shall do. So yeah, and I've had a quick look at it. It does look a lovely little kit, actually. Moving on from that, a fairly recent release from ICM. It's one of their range of British armoured vehicles during the Second World War. This is, of course, the Leyland Retriever General Service early production truck. I think it was basically introduced around about 1938 into the British Army and served in all European theatres of the war, as well as out in North Africa and in Italy. So yeah, it does look highly detailed, beautiful looking kit, and it's quite unusual in the fact it's got an open cab as well. So yeah, that should be an interesting one to build in the near future. Following on from that, you might think, oh, why is he putting up a Russian vehicle, considering what's going on? I'm not getting to the politics of it, it's just the subject matter itself. I don't condone what it represents at all. Let's just make that clear. That goes for any aircraft kits as well from Zvezda or anything like that. So let's clear that up straight away. Anybody who doesn't like it, you don't have to watch this video, alright? So there you go. But I did see this, I've had it in my stash before, my brother's built it, and it is a lovely, lovely kit. It is an old one of the Tamiya range. It's a Cold War vehicle. It's the T72M1. Now, if you look back on some of my videos, I actually put up an upload, which I took at Tankfest around about 6-7 years ago, of an Iraqi vehicle of this. So I'm going to be building it, as I'm going to get around to it, in an Iraqi army version, which you've got the option of in this kit. So yeah, I mean, it's just a sleek looking vehicle, it really is. Smoky bugger as well. So there you go. And then finally I got myself, as regards armour, a kit I built some time ago. It was my first trumpeter kit and I loved it. So much so, I got another one. So this is Trumpeter's British 155mm AS90 self-propelled gun howitzer. It is a lovely kit. I built it before. Tracks are semi A-okay. I might go for aftermarket. I'm going to see if I can source the Black Dog aftermarket storage set with it again, and the aftermarket gun. And I'm going to do it this time, as and when I get around to building it, a Gulf War variant vehicle as well. So yeah, it's a beast. And I've actually seen the real thing at Tankfest as well. So yeah, awesome vehicle. Anyway, moving away from armour, I'm going to get back to aircraft, and as you know, I have become a big geek of airliners, considering, and it's thanks to that guy in the background there. As you can see, you've got a BAA 380 going out, and that is a big mama, and as you well know, I've got the Revell kit of that in my stash. So yeah, that is a big old beast. I get a few of them flying over here quite frequently actually, and it's good to see them back in service after the pandemic. I think there's a few more airliners that are going to bring them back in. I know Qantas just recently actually reintroduced their London service on it as well. So it's good to see the big beast back again, or should I say the big lad, as Jerry refers to it. Anyway, moving on from that, I did actually get an old classic of the Airfix range. This is one I used to see it here for Heathrow frequently during the 90s. Jerry calls it the Mad Dog, because obviously since then it's been redeveloped to the McDonnell Douglas or the Boeing, was it Boeing 111? I think it was a re-engine version. And a few airlines in the States still fly them, and a few cargo lines still actually fly the original DC-9 as well. This is the old Airfix DC-9 30. Now, unfortunately, the decals on this are a long shot, so what I'm going to do is see if I can source some aftermarket ones, preferably in British Midland, believe it or not, because I used to see them a lot going into Heathrow. Either that or Alitalia, I don't know, either one. I'll weigh it up anyway, there's plenty out there. So yeah, it's a lovely kit, and actually I managed to source some aftermarket for it as well in the way of Airwave set, because you've got the interior deck cabin in there, you've got the engine detail, etc., and some panel lines and undercarriage parts. I've even got a step ladder there, so yeah, that'll be handy. So yeah, it should look good when I get around to building it in the future. And then obviously it's got its companion, which I managed to get in the mini craft range, is the old Douglas DC-8. This is the very stretched version. Now, the only trouble is I don't know which numbered version it is. So if anybody can leave some comments in the comments column. I think this is the last variant of the DC-8. You can either have it in the original Pratt & Whitney engines or the newer engines it was re-engined with. So I might get another one of these in the future. Because I really want to source some old classic airliner decals for it, either in Japan Airlines or Alitalia or even KLM. Yeah, I'm trying to think of another one they used to see it in. Yeah, either any of those three, but I don't know what the extended version series number was for this, because it don't actually put it in the kit. It just says DC-8, you know. So when you're trying to source aftermarket decals, I just want to make sure I've ordered the right ones, if you know what I mean. So yeah, if anybody could leave a comment in the comments column as to what series of DC-8 this is, because this is the long version, that'll be handy. Thanks. Right, next one up is another classic airliner. I did get a vac form version of this, but the decals were shot to shit. But I managed to source one via F-resin. It's the old DC-7C BOAC. Now, I'm sorry if that's looking as though it's round the wrong way in this video. It's because I've got the camera turned around. So there's not a lot I can do about it, guys, so don't moan. You know what I'm on about. But it's a colour scheme I love. It's a classic colour scheme. It was of the era when my dad used to go aircraft spotting at Heathrow in the 50s. And I know the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh flew on a few of them as well in their early years when they were on the Rain. So yeah, it's a lovely old classic aircraft, and I just love that colour scheme. So there you go. That'll be in my BA Heritage range of builds that I will do as and when I get back on the bench. When that'll be, I don't know. Talking of that, a few months ago, Revell reissued this Boeing Classic in the distinctive BA rose scheme. If you know, that was from the Landor to what became the current colour scheme. It's of course the Boeing 767-300ER British Airways, and I quite like that tail design. It's really nice. I know Margaret Thatcher didn't approve of it. That's why they ended up changing it to the current scheme, I think. Yeah, because if you remember when she saw a model of a 747 in one of these schemes, she just put a tissue over it because she couldn't stand it. So yeah, I think that sort of got them to change their minds, and then they ended up doing the Trafalgar scheme, which we've got now, which is much better, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's in fact, I'll probably get the details that you can get that goes with either this Vesta kit or this, just to boost up the detail on it. But it does look like a lovely kit. I know Jeff Coughlin recently built this kit as well. So yeah. And this is one of Vesta's ranges. It's one of their little regional airliners in Russia. It is their little Superjet 100. And again, I've got that for a good deal, around about 15 quid. So yeah. Yeah, it's not too dissimilar to the old 318, isn't it? If you look at the size of it, but the engines are a lot smaller. It is one of their modern regional jets. And I know they use them in some of the Balkan countries, I think, as well. Some of the Balkan airlines, but they're mostly used in the Russia airlines at the moment. So yeah, nice looking little aircraft, that, I must admit. So there you go. And then obviously this is quite an unusual one from an old Russian airline. It's used as a training aircraft, the Tu-160 Blackjack bomber. You know, that's not too dissimilar to the B-1 Bone. It's the training plane Tu-134 UBL Krusty B, and as you can see, the nose is very similar to the Blackjack, and this is used to train the crews on. It's got a number of colour schemes. I might go for the one that's on the box actually. So yeah, that would go well with that. And talking of that, I got this one. It's stablemate, the BT-160 Blackjack from PM Models up in the Midlands at £17.60 including post. So got that at a steal of price. I'm not kidding you, it's a big old beast. It really is. So that would go nice with the Krusty. Anyway, getting on to some classic aircraft. 148th this time. We've got the Revell Spitfire Mark II, which I've got at steel for less than a tenner. It is a bit of a basic kit, probably will need a little bit of aftermarket to sort of zip it up a bit. And I'm going to see if I can get some aftermarket decals, because there is a well-known photo of a Mark II Spit, or is it a Mark V? I can't remember. He was a customer of my father's, and my father actually built his own aircraft, RNN. It was a well-known colour photograph of Sir Deacon Elliott's aircraft, or Flight Lieutenant Deacon Elliott. He has now passed on, sadly. So I'm going to see if I can build it into that one. I'll do a bit of research on it to make sure it's not a Mark V, but I'm pretty certain it was a Mark II. So other than that, if not, then I may do it in that scheme, or a Battle of Britain scheme, possibly. And another Spit is this one. I got this one about 3-4 months ago. It's the Super Spitfire Mark I from Tamiya. Now, I can't remember if I've actually done an in-box review. I'll look back on my videos. If not, I will do one on this. Detail in it is nice. It really is nice. And I will be doing this as the QV aircraft, which was, as you know, built from the wreck of an aircraft that actually was shot down over the beaches of Dunkirk and is flying again. So I shall do that as Dunkirk bird. Yeah, with a black and white underneath. So that will be nice. But it does look like it's got some lovely detail on it. And again, another Spit. This is the most recent version that was issued by Edward. It is the Spitfire Mark 1A, which I will do as a Battle of Britain bird. Again, I might source the aftermarket for this as well. You got an option of doing 4 different aircraft on that as well. So yeah, that's now I've had a look at it. It does look a lovely kit. And this one is of a soon-to-be ex-display aircraft, because I think it's done its last display or is due to in October at Duxford, because they're going to strip the scheme off and put it back to its standard scheme, because this has been on the airshow circuit for about 2 years now, and Revell just recently reissued this. It's a reissue of a kit they originally released. It's the Eurofighter Typhoon Blackjack, and I must admit, the detail on that is beautiful. It is a very lovely kit, and I'm glad I got it in my stash, particularly for this scheme, because the only other way you could get this previously was basically get some aftermarket decals. But now, I'm glad to say Revell have issued this one out, so as soon as I saw it, snapped it up. So yeah, there we go. And then this beast, which I've had in my stash before, I got back again. Again, it's Revell boxing 1/72. It's the mighty MH47E Chinook. So yeah, that's going to be a nice one to do. Again, with ours, I've never known them with that refueling pod on. Maybe I think they used them on special operations in the Gulf with that, but or Afghanistan. But as far as I know, a lot of our birds do not have this refueling probe on. So I'm going to be doing this as the British variant as opposed to the US Army variant, or was it Marines variant? I can't remember. Again, look at the detail on that. Doesn't that look nice? And we get a few of these still flying over here now and again. And then obviously I was very happy to get this because it was a reissue from a display of a kit I originally had in the B Mark 1 variant. It was the first 4-engine bobby of all the heavies during the Second World War. It's the 1/72 Sterling, but this time in the B Mark 3 variant, which, as you know, I've done an in-box review on. I just bought it because the detail inside it is exquisite. Much better than the old Airfix tooling, which was very bare inside. But, you know, hint, hint, Airfix. Maybe this is one you should retool as well as the Wellingtons that you've done. Okay, it's just a hint, but it would be nice to see if Airfix do actually retool this at some stage. And then we got to a very much a sea theme now, because I've got a few ship kits in. 3 of them are actually reissues of the classic vintage range. One I've got a feeling is going out of production very soon again. But obviously 2 of these were brought out because obviously with the 40th anniversary of the Falklands, they reissued them. First off, I've had this one in before many years ago, never got around to building it, but I've got it again. I'm glad they've reissued it. It's HMS Devonshire. Now, White Ensign went bankrupt, but they've been rebought and they've reissued some of their etch brass sets, so I'm going to get the etch brass set for this to sort of tool it up and do it's a seascape sometime in the future. So yeah, good old classic kit that. And along with that came out HMS Fearless as well, so I'm glad I got that. Again, you can get some aftermarket White Ensign stuff to go and detail that up, and I might look at see if I'll get some 3D printed helicopters on the back as well. She was actually the last steam turbine ship to be in service, and sadly both her and her sister were scrapped, which I think is a great travesty because this ship had so much history in it, particularly in the Falklands War, because that was actually the chief flagship they signed the surrender on. So I was saddened to hear that both of them were scrapped. But again, money talks, doesn't it? And then obviously this is one I wanted to get again. I've built it many years ago, and I'm going to detail this one up if I can get any aftermarket for it, get some 3D printed aircraft for it. It's the old venerable HMS Victorious, which was actually retired on the year I was born, 1966, and sadly she went to the scrap heap, which was a great shame considering she fought in the Second World War with quite a victorious roll record, and she was in all theatres of the war. He even helped towards the sinking of the Bismarck, but what did they do with her? They took her to the scrapyard. I could rant on about that, but I won't. And finally, admittedly I brought U-boat of this scale before. It was the Atlantic's Type 7C. And just recently it was the 40th anniversary of the film Das Boot, which was issued, the original film, because I know they've rebooted it in 2 series. But I saw this and I thought I've got to get it. I think it's still out there possibly, but I've got I don't know, I've just got a gut feeling they're going to take it off market soon. So I'll snap this up. It's Ravel's 144th Das Boot Collector's Edition, 40th anniversary of the Type 7C U-boat. You can get an aftermarket etch set for this, which I'll probably get at some point soon. And I might do that one as a seascape as well. So there you go. That is it. That is the last of all I've got over the last few months. And I've got a feeling that might be the last for a while, because obviously I'm getting to the point where I can't get any more stuff in. So I thought I'd let you guys know. I think I've only got one more kit that's coming through. Pre-ordered it, and it's the Katie ambulance. And I think it's the Gecko models version, because that's got a lot more detail in it than as opposed to the Airfix variant, which I've got on pre-order. And then I think from then on in, it's going to be a while before I get any more kits in, to be honest with you, because as I say, space is becoming a premium now, and I've got enough to get me back and going. I've got enough here to do inbox reviews for a while yet. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to finish this now, getting on for 22-minute video. So this is the second video done today. I'm now taking a little bit of time off the weekends because I've got the other half coming over. So I'll get everything cleaned up and ready for when she stays. So in the meantime, as always, get kit crazy, happy modelling, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next inbox review, as and when that will be, because as from next week I'm going to be back at work. My time's not going to be my own. So if you don't see me for a while, don't get worried. As soon as I get some spare time, I'll get another one up and running and uploaded. Alright, take care guys. Cheers.